So just to double check, Rachel, this image, do you not agree Ranty should apply his pixel rulers to the black swan to show that he knows what he's talking about? I just saw the first message, not doing pixel geometry. So if that's true and he's using geometry, then shouldn't he apply geometry to black swan there above? How would he apply geometry to the black swan?
You heard, Kimo.
Hey?
Didn't you watch the video
Well,
yet?
Well, I'm gonna start eating.
what are the heights? What are the heights
that was
of the
just to
two
Rachie.
towers, and what are the distance
That was
between
just to
them?
Rachie, because Rachie was like, "Well, Ranty's using geometry," and I'm like,
I
"Well,
don't care,
you
so
know,
don't listen to
geometry."
rumors,
I'm
Kimo.
like,
Go
"Well,
watch the
they've got
video.
broken geometry, you know."
Go watch the
So,
video. Don't listen to rumors, Kimo.
innit? I'm still eating. I'm back in a second. I
Spurs,
just wanted to ask Rachie.
what are the numbers? What are the
Aha,
numbers, Spurs, on the platforms?
Yes, Rachel, thank you very
What
much.
are the numbers on the platforms?
No, Rachie agrees. That's what I wanted to know. It bothered me just a moment ago. Saying he's using geometry. Cleared it up. She's like, yeah, he should be able to apply it to the black swan curve calculator, and his results will not match. Then they will just say, yeah, exactly. So they can't. But Rachel, they can't have refraction without having the R value in the first place. They can't just say refraction.
What's she talking about? That's
Anyway,
not
let me
true.
just go for my quick bite.
Hold on, that's not true at all.
What?
Is it?
What?
We can apply the black swan to the curve calculator. The curve calculator gives a calculation using standard refraction, and it's pretty obvious that there's more than standard refraction going on. The black swan, we know, is incorrect from its first premise because it demands that there is no refraction at all ever, and we know that that's not true. So we have to reject it on that basis. Pretending there's no refraction is ludicrous.
Well, I can get into it. I can get into it in more depth, obviously. I don't want to talk. Back in there.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, Jem just kind of came in and washed away your sandcastle there. That you were building.
What was that? Jem washed away Chemo's sandcastle.
Yeah, because Chemo
Oh,
said,
well, you'll see Chemo forgot to put the H2O variant in his sandcastle, and that's why it fell down.
well, I was
You
basically
mean like
saying,
Flat Earth washed away your little NASA safety sandcastle, right, guys? Flat Earth washed away all your space sandcastles.
Flat Earth hasn't washed
Back
anything
to the movies,
away.
boys.
Flat Earth hasn't washed anything away.
I was just saying that if Chemo wants to just rehash an argument that has already been addressed, he's free to do that, and it's an exercise in futility. That was my point.
Hey, Lewis, quick question. That handbrake you just applied, did you actually use your hand, or was it one on your foot? One of those ones that you have to push in with your foot?
Oh, it's my hand, yep.
That'd be weird pulling a handbrake up with your right hand.
Well, it's a Hyundai, it was. It'd have to be a handbrake.
That would be so weird pulling a handbrake with your right hand.
Well, it's pretty normal to me, Waz, because I live in America, the greatest country in the planet.
I pulled my handbrake on with my right hand.
Oh, you got one of those Kingswoods, haven't you?
No, you'd have to go and watch his video to find out, won't you? But you refuse to do that for some reason. Yes.
Watch the video, see what he used, Kino.
So you're now going to claim that the height of Blackpool Tower is unknown. This is an unknown, one of the mysteries of the world that we can't, that is yet to be explained. Let me respond to Rachel. She says, you can say refraction's a thing, but it cannot be shown to bring something below a curve above a curve. Well, yes, it can. Well, I don't know what a curve means, but it can certainly bring stuff that we would expect to be below the horizon above the horizon. It's just about the optical effects in the atmosphere. Sometimes things seem lower, sometimes things seem lower. I guess you meant higher. Just like sometimes horizon is closer, sometimes it's further. Can refraction show something close, like a line moving further away using refraction? Yes, that's what we see in the black swan. But the point is, Rachel, I think, and this is what you guys seem to want to do, there are limits to this. We can't just say, oh, well, it's refraction and anything is possible, because it's not. And we would hope that if we're going to say refraction, there would be some evidence of it. And there isn't any evidence of it in this. Whereas in the black swan, there's not only evidence of it, but we know that the picture was set up to absolutely maximize refraction because it was taken from supposedly a foot above the water. So this is the problem, I think. And this is what I see flat earthers doing all the time. They take stuff, they take photographs, which they know, and let's face it, they know that this will maximize the effects of refraction, and then they claim that there is no refraction. Until Ranty comes along, and then anything's possible. Well, you could still apply refraction to a flat Earth in just the same way. You could still say the light. You could still say the light was bending, even though there's no reason to say that. It would help you guys out a bit, and they did that. They applied refraction to their flat Earth model, but it didn't get your mountains where they need to be. Well, what? It has nothing to do with the geometric horizon, does it? Why are you even talking about it? All right, go ahead. All right, go ahead. Well, you have no way of determining whether it has or not, because Blackpool is raised up, isn't it? So you don't know whether that's happened or not. But why do you need there to be a geometric horizon? Why is that required to discuss the relationship between the top of Blackpool Tower and the top of the mountain? It's a red herring. What? What are you talking about? We don't need to say any of that, do we? All we need to say is it's not flat. Because two things, where one is much bigger than the other, one of them appears lower than the other, and it shouldn't do. That's how we know. That's how we know it's not flat. Well, I do know how the sky
That
works.
in
Yes.
the Old Man
I know that it has
more
no
than
effect
300
on
meters
this.
is missing, left unaccounted for. More than 300 meters.
Well, we
It's
know the height of the
physically
mountain.
not accounted for.
Whoever
But
the
the
observer
features
is at the
visible on the
moment.
mountain show you that more than. But the features visible on that mountain show you more than 300 meters of that mountain are just gone.
Yeah, irrelevant. Because he's not, because the topic isn't the globe, Chemo. The topic's his photo. Shows an impossibility on the flat earth. So it's your job to show that it's possible. You claim flat earth. Irrelevant. You claim a flat earth. Perfect. Claim flat earth. This isn't possible on a flat earth, is what Ranty's saying. It's your job to show him wrong. Black Swan isn't the topic. The photo is. No one says we live on a model, Chemo. Stop strawmanning. Irrelevant to the topic of the photo. It's your job to show that it's possible on a flat earth. No, Ranty's photo shows something that is impossible on a flat earth. Whether you say model or not is irrelevant to the fact that it's impossible on a flat earth. Whether there's drop or not is irrelevant. It's not possible on a flat earth. You can remove the curved earth from the equation and just stick with your side, which is the flat earth, and show that it's possible. He's saying it isn't. It's your job to prove otherwise. Irrelevant. It's the flat earth that you need to show it's possible on. No, you're giving him a model for the curved earth. You need to show it's possible on a flat earth. There's no such thing as. Are you talking about Walter Bislin's curved calculator that compares curved with flat?
There's a curved or a flat Earth calculator where he took refraction and everything to the absolute extreme and changed how light works.
Right, the comparison between curved and flat that the calculator shows. I don't think a model is relevant to the fact that you can't show that it works on a flat. Well, let me ask you this, Kima. Do you plan on actually going out to Blackpool Tower and making physical measurements? Because if you're not, then a model would be how would you represent it? If you plan on going out there and physically doing it, then you can make a video, which is what all you flat earthers claim is the only way to show evidence of things, and you can physically go out and take the measurements yourself. Otherwise, you can rely on a model. Either way, you have to show that it works on a flat earth, and it won't.
What, the one where the ground for 80 miles is flat? He should not have done that. You're right. Right. What should he have done? Because flat earthers clearly don't believe that you can pick out a stretch of ground 80 kilometers across and say that it's flat on the flat earth. You're doing it again, Chemo. You're saying the flat earth is not flat, and you should not be telling us that it is, or assuming that when we say the earth is flat, that we mean the earth is flat. Do not assume that. What do you mean when you say the earth is flat? I'm asking you what model he should have used. So what do you mean when you say that the Earth is flat? Right. So would there be curvature over an 80-kilometer stretch of ground on the no curvature flat Earth? There you go. Well, he's used your model that you've just given us. Thank you very much. Welcome to the globe. Well, I just no. He's used your one, the one that you just provided. You didn't mention this guy. I didn't need to. What?
Why?
Oh, right. So how does the sky work that's in the model? Okay, so apply that then to this photograph. How has that actually happened? Yeah, but actually apply it. Apply your rules of Walter Bislin's light bending. Apply them to this so that it makes the mountains appear the way that they do. Yeah. Walter Bislin hasn't said any of this, though, has he? You're just making this stuff up. Yeah, but his explanation describes how sunlight works, right? How only part of the Earth is lit up. It doesn't explain observations like this. Okay, let's hear his explanation for that then. No, let's actually hear the citation from him saying that. Because you just made that up and he doesn't say that. Well, let's see it. Let's see it. That's what I'm saying. If you're saying that his rules can be applied to this, apply his rules to this and show us how they apply to it. Right. So apply his explanation of light to the mountain and the tower. This is just you saying stuff. I'm saying actually apply his rules. You're not. You're just saying stuff. Get his rule. Okay, what are his rules? Okay. Right, that's the first one. It's a personal dome. So we know that doesn't work because two people have gone and taken the same photograph. Right. Well, Bev's taken a photograph, and these are the original photograph. And yeah, but they're apparently the same, or at least similar enough for the point still to be made. So we can just, if the personal dome exists, which you have no reason to believe it does, then we can just abandon that idea, right? Because it hasn't made a difference in this sense. Oh, so you can be in your personal dome and you can get out of your personal dome. How do you manage to do that? Right, but how do you view something not from within your personal dome? How do you separate it?
Jesus Christ, you're flailing right now.
You're losing, dude.
Yeah, we can't answer and name things that you say with logic. Congratulations.
Right. I want you to explain how his model explains everything, and you're left wanting in that regard, aren't you? You haven't got a clue. You're just saying it because it's another tactic, isn't it? It's so this will get me out of it because now they've got to go to Walter Bislin's website and read about his model, and by the time they come back, I'll be off making a cup of tea. That's what this. I tell you what, you want to hope that Whitsit does a better job than you, mate. You're a lunatic. All of you people are lunatics, and you should seek medical attention immediately. What, the one where it's flat? I know, he should not have gone with that. He went with your model. He went with your model. A lunatic. I think he did. He did. He used the aspect of both, which says that the ground between the photographer and the observer and the mountain would be flat. That's in both models, right? So he did do what you asked. You should be very satisfied, and you should now accept that the Earth is spherical, cannot possibly be flat. That was a stupid idea in the first place. You should not have believed it. It was obviously internet nonsense for the very gullible. I understand this is going to be painful, but sooner or later, you're going to have to give up on this idea, Chemo. And I suspect that it's probably better sooner rather than later. Okay.
What's his whole thing is he doesn't have a model. It's falsification does not require replacement. That's his whole thing. He just says a bunch of stuff, and then he never actually substantiates anything he says with evidence. And he can only win if he can just gish gallop and stomp all over everybody.
Well, exactly. That's the thing, isn't it? He's never really done a proper debate like that, has he? He'll just blabber out some of his crap about laser tests or whatever, But the thing is, it's because in the original, when they did the original presentation, Conspiracy Cats asked, said, if anybody wants to refute it, you can come on and refute it. But he said something like, but don't just come on and just say some made up thing. You would need to explain to us how it's going to work. And that's the invitation that's out there, really. So I think that this sort of debate with Witsit has sort of come after that. But I think that idea was already on the table, that is what Witsit is going there to do, or should be going.
All right, listen. We don't need to explain shit, Jem. All right, you guys explain how one of the oil rigs in the Black Swan's higher than it should be, and now we got this Blackpool mountain being lower than it should be. Like shit's moving all over the place. Exactly. The light's bending.
So you're just going to say, well, you can try that if you think that's going to be a strong argument.
The light's bending in such a way that you don't know where shit actually is. It's just apparent.
So before it was derailed, to wrap, it's going to be interesting to see how much, what's its crap Katz is going to tolerate, because he's not going to actually come with anything, right? He's going to try to play his usual game, and Katz is going to try to run a reasonable debate, which Witsit can't do. So Witsit's probably either just going to self-destruct and leave, or it's clearly
I
not going to
don't
be
see
productive.
this lasting. I see this ending up being an argument about what the debate should be about and what should be, what's going to be allowed to be discussed and that sort of thing.
Right, and then one of
Because Whitstick does only
quit.
really have his one approach. He doesn't really have any clever. He
I've
doesn't.
seen Whitsett's debates before, and it's literally just him repeating the same thing when it's his turn to talk.
Right. You're trying to refute the claim that this picture demonstrates that the Earth cannot be flat.
No, we're refuting something he didn't even prove. Prove that the mountain is where it is and that Blackpool Tower is where it is, and then we got something to refute. But until then, you got nothing.
Go away.
But
No way.
You got a
Bob.
picture.
Two physical objects.
I'm sorry, but the positions of famous landmarks and mountains are known, Jeremy. These are not mysteries. We know what the positions of these objects are.
And we know what the positions of the oil rigs are at the Black Swan, Jim.
Right, that's true.
That's true. And sometimes it's higher than another one, which it shouldn't be on a globe Earth, right? So you guys are just as fucked as we are. Like, this is nothing.
No, we're not. We're not. Because again, for the millionth time, the Black Swan is set up to maximize the effects of refraction. The photo has been taken so that there is as much refraction as is possible. We know that is true. And that is evident in the photograph, right? It's very swimmy and horrible. We can see this absurd bend in the crane that we know isn't actually there. This is obvious. And the entire argument relies on the fact that there is no refraction at all. Whereas Ranty's picture is different. One, it's not been taken to maximize refraction. It isn't taken from a foot above the water for a start. Two, there isn't obvious refraction within it. And three, refraction has been taken into account anyway, and it still doesn't get you out of trouble.
No, you can't prove that the mountains are where they actually are. The light's bending. We can use the same argument you can that the light's bending, making the mountain appear lower, just like you say, the light's bending, making the oil rig appear higher.
Light doesn't do that. You can't.
That's your claim. That's another baseless assertion, Jen.
Well, it's not a baseless assertion.
You can't back up.
It's not a baseless assertion. The way that light bends in the atmosphere is well understood. It's well documented. We have equations we can use to predict its effect. It's not just made up.
What's the description of the
It's
gradient?
not. It's very well understood.
I mean, clearly refraction drops the mountain height by a couple 100 feet. Yeah.
What's the observer height?
You sound sleepy, Don.
What is the observer height?
For what?
Go watch the video.
So you don't know. Okay.
I do.
Approximately 20 feet, 20 meters. Is it?
Well,
that's
6 to 8 meters.
Okay.
You should definitely watch the video if you haven't seen it before you talk like you're.
You guys talked about it so much. You think I haven't been able to see it played in my head like 1,000 times?
So you must know the height.
Why would you ask what the observer?
I don't know the number. You guys don't kick around numbers and specifics, actually, which is the fucking interesting thing. 90% of the time, you just.
That's why they're saying go watch the video, mate. That's why they're saying go watch the video. That's why they're saying
everybody will watch it.
Going to watch the video.
Everybody's got an opinion.
There's nothing new about this video. I don't know why y'all treating this like it's something new.
After Whitsett's debate, I don't see where this will go. We're only talking about it because obviously Whitsett's debating tomorrow. But beyond that, I can't see where Ranty will be able to take this. Because everywhere he goes, he's going to be faced with the same question, right?
Flat earthers do their own research by watching YouTube videos literally all the time, except for one specific video made by an ex-flat earther that everyone else is saying, hey, watch the video so you actually understand the argument. You guys flat out refuse. It's just hilarious.
Well, Ranty can play the video tomorrow if he wants and say, look, this is how I've debunked something. Still don't know what he's debunking.
He's not teaching a seminar during a debate. It's not his job. It's your job to be educated on the topic and come to the table with the knowledge.
Yeah, he's going to have to present
I
that
can't
video.
believe what.
Go on.
I can't believe Witsit's even doing this. This is just silly.
I mean, I don't know why.
Yeah,
I think we just.
I
I think it was just done off the back of like.
See, Jeremy doesn't sound as confident as you about Witsit's.
I don't know why he's doing it either.
performance.
I was gonna suggest Witsit don't bother because it's. Where's it? Like you've just said, it's not going to last very long. I mean, where's it going to go? He doesn't have a model. No one has a model. So what is the point? So, like I said, they only talk about it now because it's tomorrow. But beyond that, I can't see where this is going to do anything more than just, I don't know. I don't know what it's supposed to do.
I don't think Witsit's got a clue what he's letting himself in for.
Well,
I
this
think
is
he
Ranty's
just thinks
chance
he's
to
going
shine.
to go and do his usual modern day debate blabber, and that will do. And I don't think it will do.
I mean, again, if Ranty was anything like the last 10 minutes, last night in the 10 minutes where I asked him, what kind of glober are you? And he's just like, I'm a picture glober or glober. I don't have any other information other than this image.
No, because it's a nonsensical question. How could you get anything other than a nonsensical answer to it?
So we can just say it's
What
a mirage.
kind of glober are you?
It's
What
a
kind of
mirage.
glober am I, Chemo? What kind of glober
You're a
would you say I am?
heliocentric, religious... I won't
NASA
say-
fanboy.
NASA fanboy. I won't say zealot because, you know, but you're the heliocentric, as usual, per usual.
Okay, and what kind of glober is curved?
Curved is a spherical trigonometry globe.
All right, so he's a different sort of glober to me.
No.
All right, okay, that's my point.
Yeah, but you didn't ask about Grimm.
Well,
What about me? Do me.
okay, let's. What about Grimm? What sort of glober is he?
Well, he's an electric universer.
Well, what's that got to do with the shape of the Earth?
He doesn't agree with your model. The model
He
is what
does.
counts, isn't it?
He
The
does. He
model.
believes the Earth is spherical, as described, of the size described.
Yeah, but not the model.
That's the model.
He doesn't agree with your model. Plasma, he tells you what it is.
That's got nothing to do with the shape of the Earth.
But he's a different kind of glober.
No, he's not. He's an electric universe person, but that doesn't make him a different sort of glober, does it?
Okay.
His position on the globe is the same as everybody else's.
Not on the model, though.
He has a different position on the electric universe.
On the
to
model,
everyone.
yes. He models it differently.
Chemo,
Well, that would make him a not big banger or something, wouldn't it?
Chemo,
Yeah,
there's as
different kind of
many
globe.
different models. Hold on, Chemo, there's as many different models of Earth as there are humans on Earth. Every human has their own model of Earth in their head,
Right.
and everyone's is different.
That's why I asked Ranty, what kind of glober are you? And he just said, I'm your glober.
However, there's
glober.
one that is agreed upon, and that is the one that we all work with.
It's not agreed upon. Here we are, not agreeing on it.
Well, you could. It is agreed upon.
Agreed upon by the intelligent consensus of humanity.
Right.
Chemburn glober. What's a Chemburn?
Congratulations on being an outlier, Jeremy.
I just got that. But yeah, I mean, it's very important we know what kind of glober he is. Is he a flat water glober? So the water's flat.
You're a lunatic.
Yeah, but that's different to you. You don't.
Aren't you all flat? Aren't you all flat water, flat earthers?
Yeah, but you say it's not flat.
Isn't that a fundamental principle of flat Earth?
Yeah, but I'm talking about.
Isn't there a leading person in the flat Earth community who spent the last 5 years just ranting on endlessly about water?
What we're trying to find out is what kind of globe Ranty is. Now
He's a
you're
picture
saying
flat. He's a picture flat water glober, I think Rainey is, right?
Oh.
He says the water is flat.
All you're trying to do is avoid addressing the evidence, which is sad to see.
Evidence of what? We're trying to
Because
figure
we
that out.
don't do that. You show us evidence and we tear it apart. We go through it with a fine tooth comb and strip it down.
Not
And
if we
you guys,
presupposed
you
it.
guys can't do that. You guys are frightened that you won't be able to do that. It shows all the time, I think, with you guys, that even though you proclaim this to be true, deep down, very few of you really, really believe it to be true. Because you don't behave like people who would if they believe this to be true.
I think half the flat earthers are trying to figure out what Ranty's argument is. Like, what is he on about? What
Yeah,
is
I
his
wonder
position?
why they would sit there trying to figure it out when it's published on video and at the same time refuse to watch the video. That is amazing, isn't it? I mean, I think we could call that is actually practically cognitive dissonance actually manifesting itself physically, isn't it?
We're looking for an argument, not a video. What is his position?
I know he's wrong, but I daren't look at what he's presented unless I no longer know that he's wrong. So I'm going to not look at what he's presented, and then I can continue to know that he's wrong.
Well, hopefully...
Well, he can't prove that he's right. He can't prove that he's right about it. You can't prove that the mountains are where they are because we know optically things are moving around.
Yeah, we can.
Well, tomorrow we'll
Bev
be
did
there.
that for us. He went and shot a time lapse that showed that they barely change.
So they are
I don't know if they do change with relation to the top of the tower. I'd have to go through the video carefully and check.
Well, look, this will be the last time Ranty will face one of the top-notch leaders. So he needs to take full advantage of this and explain his position in full. Maybe shows the highlights of his video and says, look, this is what proves that it's not flat, whatever. But I can't see any of the top tiers beyond this taking Ranty on with this question because he has no position. Your glober, what does that even mean?
Well, what sort of glober are you mean?
Is he a pear shaper? Is he an ablator? Is it fatter in the middle, wider?
He's I got you, Chemo. He's a gravitational anomalous flat water picture.
Flat water glober. What kind is he? He's a new breed.
He's the kind
of
that says the Earth isn't flat over this stretch of ground.
Yeah, but how does he know?
Because of the objects shown within the image.
Yeah, but again, how does he know how the Earth works, how the sky works?
From the accumulated knowledge of humankind.
Which is all bogus and has to be reset.
If only you could show that to be true just once.
You can't show it to be true in the first place.
But you haven't ever shown it to be true at all, ever, in any way.
Yes, but Ranty hasn't shown what he's talking about to be true.
Oh my
God, it's like they're trying to ask us, they're asking us to disprove an idea.
Right.
You got an idea in your head and you want us to disprove your idea.
What have they done to Dell in that picture? What is that?
It's me.
I have an idea of a unicorn in my head. I
Me and
you
Dell
guys
merged
to
as one.
They chemoized Dell.
Yes.
Jeremy, you have an idea that Earth is flat and it is proven in this picture.
Oh no, that's in there because I'm going to be showing Dal the pulling force when Biodual comes through. But yeah, Jeremy's absolutely right here. That's what I was saying, Ranty. What is your position?
Stop making shit up, you lunatics. It's not true.
What's not true?
The Earth is not flat. Don't be silly.
Well, there's no evidence of it being a globe.
Never ever going to be flat. It's a ridiculous idea. It's just Eric Dubé's blabber that he got from a 19th century snake oil salesman. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean, again, we can see that NASA has faked space. They've we can see that they faked the moon landings. We can see that no astronaut has ever been in a vacuum chamber repeatedly that we can see astronaut
Talking
suits
about the
work.
shape of the Earth, Chemo. Why?
I mean, Renty has so many problems on his shoulders. If he's willing to take your position of the heliocentric model with NASA,
Mark Taylor says, top notch. The guy who got mugged off by the guy who got mugged off by guys in duck suits.
I mean, again,
Effie is a mess.
We're only human.
Just look at Ranty's journey, all right? Look at how popular you would be, how much attention you would get if you said, you know what, guys, I figured it out. This flat Earth stuff is nonsense. You could run the YouTube circuit, all the interviews. You'd be a Discord champion. I mean, you'd truly be a superhero of the community.
What community? The Globe Earth community.
Yeah, the whole debate community, you know.
This is not a competition looking for popularity or fame. You realize that, right?
Oh, sure it is.
Alright, so you don't realize. No. The real flat earthers, as you can see, are the ones who push this without looking for anything in return. You see? And you can see that we keep the boat steady, as you can see. So any kind of mishaps, like what we can easily shut them down. What we have to do is say to the fence sitter, has he measured the black swan in the same order? And you guys will say no. Then the fence sitter can say, ooh, okay, so we're still looking for evidence of a globe. That's where we're at, pretty much.
You now just pumping the water that goes into your boat that this picture blew in it.
No, I mean, again, like, if I were to become a globe earther, which is a great possibility once BioDual shows us the science, this, you'll know my claim, you'll know my position, you'll know what it does and what it's for, and I won't be embarrassed like Ranty here to go on to 24/7. I won't be embarrassed to go onto Nathan's. I won't be embarrassed to go onto Dow's. Now, Ranty is embarrassed to take this observation anywhere in the community other than people who agree and say yes, yes, yes. But the people that say no, he's not really going there, right? And now, again, it was down to me to organise a debate with Witsit and Ranty. But again, this will probably be the last debate with one of the top-notch flat earthers. So he needs to be able to take great advantage of this, and hopefully he's able to put his claim on the table so we can take a good look at it, and we can find out what kind of globe glober he is, right?
What kind of flat earther are you?
Something tells me you listen to him as well as you listened yesterday.
Some people are infinite planers. So there are different types of flat earthers.
I didn't ask about people, Chemo. I asked about
biblical four corners. Yes.
I told you.
No, I can't prove that. I can't prove the four corners. I can't show you all of that. I can't show you the model. I can only show the what God has said. But let's not get into religion. But practically, we can show that water. If we want to put religion to one side, we can say physically, practically, water does not conform around the exterior of an object without a force. Now, obviously, that force is not there, so therefore we know with scientifically that cannot happen.
Do you hear what I say? Katse is an end, it's not a corner.
Okay.
Okay, you don't know your model. You say corners, I'm telling you it's not corners, it's ends.
Okay.
Okay. You keep saying corners, which is not the biblical model.
Yeah. Four corners.
Again, Chemo, are you deaf?
No. You said
yeah, square now.
I'm telling you that Katse is not a corner, it's an end.
Yeah, I heard you.
Yeah, you heard
he
me.
hears,
you
but
keep
he doesn't listen.
Corner.
Yeah.
Because the Bible doesn't say corner, the Bible say end.
And if you were on a spherical Earth, it would never end. You could keep going and going and going forever.
You'd just be going around in circles, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would. It would never end. You could keep going and going.
I mean, I kind of hear what you're saying.
I'm so stupid that
I'm not a biblical kind of person, so I mean.
I hear what you're saying, Chikey.
Still though.
But remember, You're not a leader of any new school. Yes. And I can give you a verse where it talks.
Sit on Discord chatting to idiots. Think that Earth is flat.
I'm sorry. Where do you get your test for this, Chemo? You haven't seen the four corners of the Earth, and all you have is a written document.
Yeah, I just said that. You're asking me for a model.
No, I'm asking you how can you believe this biblical thing that's just a written document without a video?
I'm just going to show what's his face, because he says, "Oh, it doesn't say you don't know, It doesn't say the four corners. It says the four ends. Oh, you don't understand your argument. You don't know what you're talking about, right, Chaiki?"
Yes, Kima.
Yes. So why does it say in the Bible then? Take a look at this. Why does it say in the Bible, in Revelation, and I saw four angels stood on the four corners of the earth, holding the four winds of the earth? Why, Chaiki, if it says four corners in the Bible, you says it says ends?
How would you see four angels in four?
Hold on, let's not interrupt Chaiki. Let's give Chaiki a chance to respond.
Let's make order here. The New Testament is not the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me.
Okay.
The Bible is the Old Testament.
Okay.
Which book is it? Which book is it?
I don't know. I'm asking you. Where does it say that it's not?
I don't know. Revelation.
You said, oh, you don't know your Bible. You're ignoring me. What is your answer?
Bible.
What is your response?
No.
And I said,
Bible.
Well, actually, Bible is the word for biblios, which has to do with library.
I said,
So
Chaiki.
a series of books.
So where's my apology, Chaiki? You said four corners are not in the Bible.
Yeah, it's not the Bible.
Eugene actually technically is right because Revelations is part of the Apocrypha, not part of the Bible. But I didn't want to say that.
So it's not the Bible.
We colloquially commonly used to call it the Bible, but specifically no. It's part of the Apocrypha.
How does one see the four corners of the earth? And
well, hold on. We've got Chaiki here that says the four corners are not in the Bible. Why did he lie?
I didn't.
Why? He didn't lie?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
You need to show me in the Bible where the Bible say there are corners.
Yeah, read that verse I just posted, Chaiki. Can you read?
That's not the Bible.
What is it then?
I don't know. Something you think is the Bible.
The Revelations is not the Bible.
No.
What is the Bible then?
Tanakh. Torah, Nevi'im, Ketuvim.
Chaiki, speak up. What is the Bible if Revelation is
I
not
just
part of the
told
Bible?
you.
No, you're mumbling. What is the Bible if Revelation is not?
That's the Bible. You want me to name all the books?
Of the Bible?
Yeah.
Well, how many books are there?
Depends on the version, Chemo. Some have 66, some have 72, some have 75. Which one do you want?
Chaiki, how many
Ethiopian
books?
Bibles, I think, has got the most.
Chaiki said, do I want him to read? And I'm asking, well, how many books are there that he's got?
Hold on.
Still there, Chaiki?
36
36 books.
books.
Books?
Yeah, actually,
There's 36 books in the Bible.
Books. Yep.
Did you say 36 books?
Yep.
Yeah, some people hold that there are 36 books in the Bible, Chemo. It's not all one denomination in your weird cult.
Where'd you get that information from, Chikey? Got a source?
And there'd even be more books in the Bible if somebody didn't
It's called Tanakh.
censor.
Is the book of Isaiah in the Bible?
I don't know.
We're going to go through every single book now and name them, are we, Chemo? That'll be fun.
The other books they didn't put in the Bible.
Chikey said the four
I think we
corners.
should stop this chit-chat and get back onto proper subjects. It sounded like this has been derailed into a biblical text. Don't know why. It's flat earth in here.
Chikey said it's not in the Bible, and in the King James Bible it says, "He shall set up."
Sorry, Chemo, that's biblical talk. We need to get back onto the flat earth, or are you not interested?
Hold on a sec. Chikey, you said the four corners are not in the Bible, and it says in this Bible, in the King James, "And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth." Is that not the Bible, Chikey?
Why are you using that politically motivated poor excuse for a translation, Chemo?
Well, I'm just asking Chikey, is that not the Bible, the King James?
What book is it?
King James.
What book?
Isaiah. Is Isaiah not in the Bible?
Yes, it is. Which chapter?
Isaiah 11:12 in King James. What does it say? Can you find the verse in the King James for me?
The original is ונשא נס לגויים ואסף נדחי ישראל ותפוצות יהודה יקבץ מארבע כנפות תבל. Kanfot is wings, actually, not corners.
But the English translation is because you said four corners are not in the Bible.
Yeah, so the word corner is not here.
Yeah, but in Isaiah and Revelation it says four corners. Chikey. Look, Brainy just posted it for you. Isaiah Revised Standard. It says another Bible, different. It says Judah from the four corners. Why does it say four corners, Chikey? When you said it doesn't say four corners in the Bible. Why is Brainery posting the Bible that says four corners? Is that not the Bible? Chikey, you've gone awfully quiet.
Yes, hold on.
Okay, sorry, I didn't know you were there still. Just double check Isaiah for us.
Could we hear a Glober concede in a minute here?
We don't know. We're going to find out. If
you're going to hear me concede. Okay. Comfort is. No.
He doesn't want to go on any further. Good boy, Chikey. There you go, son. You see? And again, that's what we do in all areas of when we make a commitment to a position. And obviously we know the Bible says there are four corners, and we can find various verses in various places that says the Bible has four corners.
Chemo, can you tell me four corners on a circle or a round device, like you're saying that not your observation, but your model, but the models you claim they're all round. So where do you find corners on something round?
Don't.
Bible is wrong then.
The land that we know about, no one makes a shape claim on Earth. We don't say it's a circle. We don't say it's a triangle. We don't say it's a dome. Put a dome on something square. You can put a dome on something square. Are you high right now, sir?
No, I'm just asking you a question. Show me something dome on something square.
Are you fucking. Let's get serious here. Come on.
Well, let's get serious. We're
You
talking
don't think you
about
can
the
put a
Bible.
dome on something that's a square?
No one takes the Bible seriously.
Well, the weird thing is in the Lutheran Bible they don't have Revelation or James.
All right, let's not derail. Let's get back to
So
Ranty's,
isn't that funny, Kimo? I start talking, you immediately use the term
because we've
derail,
ended. Let's
even
not
though it's
rub it in
continuing
anymore.
on the conversation that we just had.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, you're obviously really triggered. I'll go off again, wait for you to go away, and then I'll come back where I can actually have a conversation without a prick like you intervening every time. Adios.
Let's not rub it in Chaiki's face any further. He's been debunked by a flat earther. He's ate humble pie, ate his own words, and apologised as he should. And we can move on now. Doesn't need to go on with any more religious aspects. He's saying things that are not true, and we can move forward.
But you said that he apologized like he should.
Yeah,
No,
like
wait,
you're supposed to, when you're wrong, concede and admit that you're wrong, especially when a flat earther is right. Okay?
Talking, Kimo.
Well, I said yes. It is corners, but it's a corner of the earth, which is the land, not the seas. It's not talking about the seas.
You said 4 corners are not in the Bible. I showed you twice where it is.
Okay.
Okay, that's it. Let's move on.
Okay.
What we do around here.
Show me.
Okay, let's move forward. So, again, the same principle with Randy's picture is the fact that going to apply geometry to that image, also apply geometry to the black swan, and then he maybe have something. He may have an argument. Say, look, this happens everywhere I pixelate. Every time I'm pixelating an image, I get the same results. Explain that, flat earthers. But he just has one image which comports with the flat earth model of Walter Bislin's. Walter Bislin could replicate that all day long. That's easy, light work for Walter Bislin there. Walter Bislin replicates that.
Walter Bislin's model is not reality because it's impossible. It goes against reality.
All I'm saying
It requires conditions that don't exist in the world.
Kimo, I think I heard Renty here, this room, when you were present, saying he don't care about the whole world. He cares that this place where he lives, it's not a flat plane. This piece of land between the tower and the observer is not flat. He didn't claim anything about the black swan.
Of course it's flat. We can show the profile of it being flat.
It's not, Kimo.
We can show you the profile.
You can't show
We
the
have
profile.
more evidence on our side from experts than somebody
agree with
using a
you.
pixelated ruler. Okay?
Oh.
Now, if Ranty was to go on any of the top flat earth channels, okay, and was asked to provide geometry, measurements, applying this method he's using to all images, he would be so embarrassed he wouldn't even know where to begin. So what we have here is an observation that works perfectly fine on it. I was going to say flying on a flat earth. It's fine because, like I say, good old Walter is able to show us how light bends in ways. You guys are just incredulous. Fine, okay, because the measurements is what tells us. Science is what tells us Earth cannot be a
What
globe.
measurements do you have from that place?
And think about it. Randy's image was 50 miles of light bending. The black swan is just 10 miles. So if you're saying the black swan has that kind of refraction over just 10 miles, then what do you think is going to happen over 50 miles? Oh my goodness me! Again, this can be shot down in many various different ways. This is just the emo way. Wait till Wixit gets hold of this. You're going to see fireworks. You're going to see a spectacular show. We're going to see someone stumble, fumble, and then obviously become humble.
Sure. Are you humble now that last time you told about the elevation profile, I showed you that it's referencing a geoid?
What geoid?
Was it EGM 96? The WGS 84 ellipsoid, but then there was a geoid that it was referencing for the elevation. I posted it to you with the source from Google.
Okay.
So it's not a flat reference.
But do they show any drop, like the mountain,
No, because the reference is a geoid.
like a globe? You mean?
Yes.
Yeah, that's fine.
So they measure the elevation from a curved surface. So the curve is 0 elevation.
As we expect, yeah.
Yeah, on a globe. Yes.
Yeah, so that's
You'd expect that if you have a flat reference, you'd expect that from on a flat surface too, but you don't have that. You don't have the flat surface.
Well, we don't have a curved surface. That's the point.
We do. That's what the Google uses for elevation profiles.
No, Google show the land as it is.
What land? What land do they show as it is?
Well, when they do their surveying, they have their own surveyors that would survey the land. They would know if there's any elevation drop from sea level.
So Google, yeah, sea level, and sea level is the geoid.
Yeah,
Mean
again,
sea level.
Yeah, again, that's based on the presupposition that the Earth is 3959. Yes.
No. Yeah, okay, it's based on that, so you can't use Google's elevation profiles.
Yeah, because we can just take away the presupposition and look what it really is, which is flat and horizontal.
No, you can't.
We can take away the presupposition. We don't have to presuppose a ball just because you say so.
Do you know what Google uses, or yeah, let's say Google, what do they use to get the ellipsoid and the elevations for the ellipsoid?
And they use various
Or the
methods.
geoids.
Various methods.
Yeah, what methods?
Various.
Yeah, satellites, mainly satellites.
No, I would say drones. Aircraft drones.
Well,
Drones.
that's begging the question. Can you show some evidence for that?
What, of a Google drone? Of course, let me get that off.
Yeah. Show me a Google
Absolutely.
drone with the radar measuring elevation from sea level.
We can provide you a Google drone in any time, next to no time. Like now.
Yeah, one with a radar for measuring elevations.
Yeah, I mean, it has got everything on it. Let me show you.
Yeah, I mean, it has fuck all in it.
I'm going to show you a
But
fancy Google drone. Alright? Take a look. Check out this fancy...
I hope there's some text too, not just a picture of a drone.
So look, check out the fancy Google drone. That's all they do. Is fly around the flat Earth, measuring the valleys and the hills, and obviously as they go over water.
Some kind of link for that? Do you have some link for that I can read about it?
Yeah.
Or do you just have one picture of the thing?
And another one.
Of course not.
Well, that's
Then
just one
I can just post a picture of an airplane and say that that's measuring the globe.
No, I think that one's just delivers packages.
Was it an extended airplane?
The one that you posted just delivers packages?
Yeah, you want one like this. This is the one you want. Check this out.
Oh yeah, it's a delivery drone, so Kimo, you're kind of wrong.
Yeah, but that's
FedEx
a delivery drone.
doesn't measure the Earth.
We know that. This one here. Now, this is the kind of one that flies around, taking surveillance, mapping the Earth, all that kind of
How do you
thing.
know that it maps the Kimo? Stop. How do you know that it maps the Earth and it's not just a surveillance drone?
It's got you can see at the bottom. If you look at the bottom, it's got
it has a camera.
Yeah, they got the camera. They got the they got
That's
everything you
not
need
a
to
Google
map the
one.
Yeah.
How old is that? How old is that, Kimo?
How old? I don't know how old that one. They probably updated it.
Yeah, because I mean the geoid is kind of older.
There we
But,
go. This
so
is
you
what
have
you
evidence.
want. This is what you're looking for.
So you have evidence that Google uses that. You have some evidence for that.
Yeah. No. This is the one you're looking for. This one. Now I know what you.
The third time if we got some evidence.
Here we go. Check this out. Take a look at this. Now this is what we're talking about, right? They've got these they say these are the atmospheric satellites taking they were act as atmospheric satellites taking photos of the Earth. So they act as a satellite. They're not real satellites, and that's what they're doing right now.
Yes.
They're doing that right now.
And they're taking photos. And they're taking photos of the Earth or expanding internet access, not doing geodetic surveying or mapping the topography of Earth.
Yeah.
So you're wrong.
No, that's how they survey the Earth, taking pictures, seen from the drop.
Then,
yeah, go on.
So then I can say that they are measuring elevations on the globe.
Yeah, you can presuppose that, sure.
You can presuppose flat. I mean, there's no evidence that. I mean, there's nothing about. There's nothing about measuring the elevation changes on Earth with that.
Yeah, but I'm saying Google will show if there's a slope or if it's horizontal. Now, when it shows the horizontal, that horizontal doesn't mean curved. See? The horizontal means straight, flat.
Horizontal doesn't mean curved. But how does that airplane form
it
the
just
elevation
goes over
profile?
If it's like boop, 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 and then just takes
That's what
pictures
they
and
do.
stuff. Yeah.
Give us a video with timestamp.
That articles, all that tells you is that they're using that plane to help with communication.
Yeah, well, again, they're going to use.
So they're
going to tell you that.
profiles.
They're going to tell you
It's only used for communication. I read the article.
Well, look, you can see that it's a solar satellite acting as a satellite, a solar plane, sorry, acting as a satellite. See it, read it, weep, whatever you want to do.
In the atmosphere to communication.
Can't show that the Earth is curving.
Doesn't measure elevations.
Can't show
it doesn't measure elevations.
No.
Yeah, it does everything and more.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. That's a claim from you, and you haven't backed
with
it
a
up.
combination of all the aircraft that the military and Google have, they're able to do that.
I would have said that if it didn't say.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
you don't
another
believe
claim,
everything
Kimo.
Google say, do you? Google are trying to censor a lot of
So
information.
you're saying that Google uses that fucking airplane to measure the elevation profiles, but you don't trust Google, so we can't trust Google on what they say, and that's your evidence that they're doing it.
Mate,
And you're using Google's
start
own
trusting
elevation
yourself.
profiles
Trust
as
yourself.
your proof. So
Trust
you believe
yourself.
Google.
Trust yourself. So when you look at Google,
Okay,
trust
so
yourself
so
to know what
don't
is
trust
good and what is
Google's
bad.
elevation profiles. So do you trust Google's elevation profiles, or do you not trust them?
What do they show us? Elevation drop
Elevation drop.
from sea level.
Where? It depends. If you're below the sea level, then yeah.
Well, does Google show that?
Yeah, Google shows you elevation drop if you go below the sea
All right,
level.
let's take a look at this picture that we have. Check this out. All right. Now, we can see where is the curve in this picture.
Curve?
Yeah.
What curve?
What
You mean
curve?
Earth curve?
What curve? Very good question. Where
Do you
is the
do you
curve?
mean Earth curvature?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not depicted there.
The elevation changes is not curve dependent.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
That's what I'm trying
Yeah.
to tell him. It's not curve dependent. We can remove away the presupposition and have a look at what we see, which is zero elevation drop over that distance.
it's not what you see. That's not what you see because the mountains appear lower than the tower.
Yeah, we can see the tower in this image, and it's exactly the same elevation as it should be on a flat Earth. It's higher than the towers.
You try to fit in a curved representation of elevation change into a program like Google.
No, that's presupposition. We're saying we're going with the flat plane, modeling it, and this is what it would look like on a flat Earth.
That's a presupposition also, Kimo, then.
Why is it a presupposition?
Because if we look in reality, we see the mountains lower than the tower, so it can't be flat.
Oh, that can be explained on a flat Earth easily.
Yeah, and it's easily explained on a globe.
Yeah, but that globe is a what globe? How big is the globe?
What flat Earth? How big is the flat Earth?
Unknown. Nobody knows. No one's there.
Ah, okay. So it's the globe then.
Good. Now we're getting somewhere.
So,
Finally.
Timo, can we take this picture you just sent?
Globe
One you
is
just sent there.
unknown.
Show me
Flat
where the tower is on that drawing. On the elevation drawing, show me where the tower would be at.
It would be below the mountains.
Okay, so would it be taller than the mountains?
No.
Then why would you see? Because that's you're showing that the elevation of the mountains are taller than that tower, but it's not what we see.
That's not what we see. You're right. The optical illusions.
We see it going
cold.
really. So there's your model right there.
We see an optical illusion.
What illusion would that be?
The mountain looks lower than the tower.
Pauses it.
Google Earth shows that it's higher than the tower. It's been measured, surveyed.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
So if it's been measured, if Google Earth saw that it was lower, in reality, they would have put the mountain lower. But it's not lower.
That's not what you're looking at.
It is. The mountain is higher than the tower, as it should be on a
Yes,
flat
the mountain
Earth.
is higher, but that's not what you see in the picture.
You're looking
It's
at
not
an
from an optical illusion. Then what's causing that optical illusion?
The light is bending through different mediums of different temperature.
And what temperatures would that have to be to make that difference?
Low, high, high, low, low, high, high, low. That kind, not in that order.
But how much high, high, and how much low, low?
Oh, no, that's where you get your calculation. Get the calculator boys out. The math guys.
No, you calculator boys. I want
number
to
boys and girls.
sites that showed exactly what the temperature was that day at that time and
Now
the day
you've got to
before.
get your number boys and girls out and start calculating. Boop, 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 boop. How much temperature? Boop, 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 boop. How much density? And then obviously you can find out.
You're the one claiming it. You need to boop, 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 to get the numbers out.
Well, we don't need to because Google Earth shows us that the mountain is higher than the tower.
You're right.
That's right.
But in reality, the picture does not.
Because you're looking through a medium.
We're looking over a curve.
If you remove that medium, you will see what Google have measured.
What was that medium again? 1 degree difference?
That's just the Earth.
The temperature that day, at that time, we know what it was. Exactly. We know what it was at the top of the mountain. We know what it was down at the valley. We know what it was at Blackpool. We know what it was at Southport.
Yeah, but that doesn't help you because you don't know how it works in conjunction together.
We don't?
Don't.
Are you sure?
Yes, because if you did, you'd give us the calculations for the mountain being lower on a flat Earth.
And if you did, you wouldn't say such a stupid thing.
Well, we can demonstrate this practically.
That's what we're looking for. Show us a demonstration.
Yeah, we've got the objects on a flat table dropping due to lensing. So we've got a practical demonstration of that. We have Google who's measured it flat, no elevation drop. And all we have is a glober, your globe's glober, who wants to say, well, I've measured a ruler with some pixels. I was pixel counting. And through the pixelation, I'm now a glober off the back of looking at an optical illusion. Most flat earthers will be laughing their heads off at this. They're saying an optical illusion made you a globe's glober. Your globes, I mean...
Change that to about 300 miles and see what the elevation of Google says.
Witsit is going to be laughing his head off tomorrow. You know, you
He'd
hate
be
it
crying.
when he starts laughing. Witsit, you really, you know, when he does that laugh, you don't like it, right? You can just hear it in your head now, right?
No, I don't hear what's in my head.
Yeah, so he's just going to be laughing at Ranty by saying, "What kind of glober are you?"
Yeah,
right?
And that's not going to make a difference of what it is.
It's not about Witsit, Kimo. And I have an update for you. No, this phrase is not talking about corners. It's talking about directions.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
So the Bible's
Direction.
wrong, is it?
The Bible is translated wrong, yes.
Oh dear.
That means that people will come back from all directions.
You want to make
East,
us a full translation?
west, north, and south.
Can you rewrite the Bible
That's
for us and give us the
direction.
correct translation?
You're in a direction kind of flat.
Yeah, when you rewrite the Bible with the full and correct translation, I'll have a read of it.
No, well, I have the closer to source Bible, the news, and consensus is this phrase is talking about directions, not the shape of the earth.
Right, so when you translate the Bible for us with the all correct terminology, I'll have a read of your Bible. My Bible says four corners. Show us your Bible where you translated the
Your
entire
Bible says. My Bible says
I know.
different.
I'm asking you to
We-
translate the
I
Bible
read
for
wrong.
us so I can read your Bible.
And I did. I just did. I told you this is directions. What mentioned there is directions. They will come back from all directions. That's it.
Yeah, and in English we translate that as the corners.
Directions are corner now.
No, we translated from the other Bible and it came out to be corners.
Which Bible did you translate it from? The Bible that was translated from Hebrew to Greek and then to English?
There might have
Or
been a
was
bit of
it
Latin in
translated
there.
to another language on the way?
Well, that's the thing, you see. If you can give me your translated version, I'll have a read.
I told you. Well, you can't read my translated version.
I'm going with King James
My
of
version
England.
is translated from Aramaic or Ashurit. I don't know how you say it in English. To Hebrew.
I'm going with the King.
That's
King
what I
James. King James said this is the translation, the one we should use.
I have one that was written before King James was born.
Okay, so what? Show us your king.
Don't have a king.
Well, obviously we have Jesus as the king, but we're talking about of our country. We have King James. Who is your king that wrote your Bible, translated your Bible?
No, it's not written by a king.
It wasn't even the king that translated your Bible. Who translated your Bible?
No, it's no authority.
So who? I'm saying like some paupers.
was
Who
discussed
translated your
between-
Bible?
It was discussed between people who studied the Bible then, and they translated it from one language to another.
Were they kings? Did they work for a king?
No, they were not kings.
Did they
They
work
didn't
for a king?
No.
What are you talking about? We've got the king of England.
So what?
So where is your king?
You're appealing to authority now, Kimo.
Yes, the king of England
He's
gave
a
us a
king.
translation.
He's a king. So if the Queen of England now decide to change the Bible, you accept it?
That's our queen.
Oh.
So show us your king that translated your Bible, or president, prime minister, or leader.
No king wrote the Bible.
What?
Ever.
Is that what your king said?
None of my kings wrote the Bible.
So who told you this information?
Kimo.
Kohanim, Levim.
Who?
What's the point in contention?
Those who walk the
Hey,
God.
is that skeptical?
Hey, brother.
What's going on? What's going on? We're just talking about Ranty's image, and we're
How
trying
he
to figure
changes
out. We be trying to figure out what kind of glober Ranty is. Is he a pear-shaped glober, an oblate glober? Is he an electric glober?
Funny how you think that makes a difference.
What you do?
Because, like, you believer, you priest state that it's a peace shape.
No, he did tell you what he believes in. I heard it.
Neil deGrasse Tyson
Neil
changes
deGrasse.
his narrative. Once he says that it's a peace shape, then he says it's an oblate spheroid. Which one is it? Or is it a perfect sphere?
Who said it?
The astrophysicists, your priests.
I was talking about your astrophysicists now.
You priest, mate. You God.
I don't have a priest.
You God, mate.
I don't have a
You
God.
prophet.
I don't
You
have
to the
prophet
prophet.
either.
You have a prophet, mate.
I don't have.
You
I
prophet
don't-
an astronaut.
Hold on,
like
Jakey.
mainly graphite.
You decide for me who are my prophets.
Because I'm decided based on the information being delivered to you, and you believe it.
That's
Say,
information delivered.
say it again. You fucking moron. Say it again.
Look,
Oh,
ex-flat
really?
earther. Okay, let Chikey.
No,
and,
Kimo, don't get him out of this hole he's dug. You shut
Yeah,
up.
I'm saying to you, ex-flat earther, let him speak.
You've gone along enough. Go again with your explanation of the
Skeptical.
oblate and the peer. Go, skeptical.
No need to. Already Kimo like explained it.
And I'll shove it up your ass. Go.
So you don't like Kimo's explanation because like he refutes you every day. He debunks your false religion and false prophet.
Yeah, and I got I have 2 words every day that debunks yours, and you ran away from these two. Lunar eclipse. But anyway, let's get back to your stupid shit, and let's put this out there once and for all so you don't be so stupid to use it
Come on,
again,
Kimo,
okay?
carry on.
Ready?
Sorry?
When a perfect ball or a perfect sphere is created, it's uniform in nature. But if a soccer ball gets used and kicked around too much, it begins to deform, and we say that becomes a little bit pear-shaped. So meaning not uniform all the way it was. So when the Earth is bulging at the center and is not uniform, we can say the Earth is a bit pear-shaped, not the fruit.
Does Ranty say that though?
Sheeple, let me ask you, how do you explain NASA's blue marbles taken from the supposed outer space? So those blue marbles, they'll show a perfect sphere.
Let's deflect.
So how would you like explain that? If you believe in
Okay.
space and
Okay.
out of space and
There was a-
There you
There
go,
was a-
Sheepy.
Yeah. Cheers,
Sorry?
Terry. There was a test done, okay, and they put a perfect circle, just a 2D circle, next to the oblate circle, and they said which one's different, and many people said it's the same. So the eyes can't discern it directly. It's not so great because the scale in which it's measured against is maybe a mountain range, but it's still connected to the rest of the earth. So your eyes can't discern it. You can only measure it.
Okay, how do you explain the blue marbles?
I just told you.
No, that's not an explanation. It's not.
Your eyes can't discern it. So could you take a photo?
Again, my eyes are flawed. Again, this is
No,
the globe's tactic. The globe's tactic is to basically attack your senses all. My eyes can't discern it.
Do your senses feel attacked? Do they feel like they've been personally attacked? Would you like to file a report with HR?
What did the attacker look
How
like?
can you reconcile the blue marble with what you priests, astronauts claim?
Have you measured the blue marble?
I have.
Are you claiming that it's perfect? Skeptical.
No, because that's what you priests
Wait. Are you claiming
ex-flat
that
earther,
it's
you
perfect?
gotta let him speak. Ex-flatty. Okay?
Don't you call me that anymore. You can call me sheeple, or you can shut the fuck up. How about that, Kimo?
Alright.
Is sheep on X flat earther?
Yes. He
No.
used to be a flat earther, and now he's trying to.
I was in the flat earth community skeptical from 2018 to the beginning of 2019.
He was a strong
and
flat earther skeptical.
You can stop talking through me, Kimo. You've spoken enough, I think.
Alright.
And your entire movement back then
Once
was
you go
found.
flat, there's no going back.
Well, I never
So
went
flat
flat
earth
then,
is-
did I?
Yeah,
And you to this day, 2021, May, still can't answer the questions from back then.
That's because Kimo's a sneaky little salesman.
Oh, look, another ex-flat earther.
Sheeple X flat earth.
And
Beautiful.
Sean.
But why are you criticizing people for being ex-flat earthers? Aren't they doing exactly what you say they should do? Actually give it like a good look and investigate, and when they find the evidence for the flat earth to be wanting, they obviously no longer believe it.
Yeah, it's called searching for real truth, Chemo. I know you wouldn't know nothing about that.
Once you go flat, there is no reason to go
I can
back.
admit ignorance, Chemo. I can admit when
Unless
I could
they find
know
the
something.
evidence to be inadequate.
What
which
reason
apparently
did you
they
go
did.
back to the globe? Do you have any evidence of that globe?
Yes.
Like what?
And it's in these two words.
What?
Lunar eclipse or missing mountains or
Works perfectly
sunrise
fine on
to
a flat
sunset.
Earth. Works on a flat Earth just fine. Walter Bislin.
Oh, I've got a little jingle for that. You ready?
Walter Bislin.
Sunrise to sunset. You know what? I bet it works on a plane. No, sorry, I can't even remember
Walter
it now.
I would love to hear. Hey, Chemo,
Sorry,
I would love for you to explain how a solar or a lunar eclipse works. And,
Exactly.
And leave this on the 10%. I want to know about the 90% of lunar eclipses that we observe.
Oh, you're not listening. I said Walter Bislin's model.
No, don't go to Walter Bislin or we'll shove that up your ass too.
Well,
you seem to like things shoved up your ass, Chemo. I'm getting a little bit worried.
Demonstrate Walter Bislin's model doesn't work with your observations.
Again, I will ask again for explanation for a lunar eclipse on a flat Earth. Go ahead, Chemo. Explain it to us. I don't care about Walter Bislin. I want to know how you understand.
All
a
right,
lunar
first of all,
eclipse works.
explain what is a lunar eclipse. Your mind.
Simple.
No. You're going to explain it. I asked you to. Don't.
I don't know what
reverse
you're
it.
talking about.
You
What is a
explain
lunar
it.
eclipse?
It's actually better. It's actually better if we do that. So yeah, it's very simple, Chemo.
Well, hold on.
It's when
Look. Let the other ex-flat earther see if he knows what the model is.
Okay.
No, Chemo. See, here's the thing.
You see,
I asked you to
he doesn't
explain
know
a
the
flat
model.
Earth lunar eclipse.
He does
What did
know
you
the
do?
model, but he doesn't want to give you an.
I want you to explain it, Chemo. I asked you to explain it.
What is a lunar eclipse?
Okay. Give him the globe model.
He doesn't
first,
know.
Sean.
He doesn't know.
And then
people.
he's got to be able to replace it. No, then he's got to be able to replace what causes the
No.
shadow with something else.
He
It's
doesn't
even
know.
more funny.
You cannot answer a question with a question. So explain to me how a lunar eclipse works on a flat Earth. We've both been in here way too long to be playing these say the ABC game. I know you understand what a lunar eclipse is. I know what a lunar eclipse is, and I know you know that. So go ahead and explain to me a flat Earth lunar eclipse without your bullshit.
It works very well. That's how it works.
He's just saying it does. He's just saying, oh yeah, it works. How does it work, Chemo?
It works very well.
Mechanism. We're not talking about performance rate here. Oh, by the way,
And that's
skeptical
why
ran away
you'll
when I
always
said.
be-
You see what I said? Ran away from two words, lunar eclipse, and he's gone.
No
like,
one's run
it's
away.
like a
I've
magic.
asked you to tell me.
It's like
what
a
is
Harry Potter spell or something.
I've asked Sean to explain what a lunar eclipse is. He won't do that.
Skeptical got skeptical.
That's funny. You're asking me to explain it after I've asked you to explain it, and you won't. So
Well,
why
I've got
would
to know
I
what it
answer
is I'm
anything you have to-
explaining first. What is it?
If you don't know what a lunar eclipse is, then you're not smart enough to have this conversation with me.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I don't know
That's
what
true.
it is. You don't know what it is, so we don't
Real
need to talk
talk.
about it. Unless you know
But
what it is.
you don't know what it is, but you know it works well.
Yeah, on Walter Bislin's model, yes.
Actually, no. No. It says clearly it does the lunar eclipses. Or actually, it says the eclipses can't be explained on his model.
Yeah,
You really should read that thing that says conclusion.
He explains
Because the
it.
conclusion gives a summary of the problems with it, including
that's his
light has to
bias.
work in an impossible way. Yep, that's one of them.
That's
Yep.
his bias.
No, that's the conclusion.
No, it's biased. He just told you it's biased, so that means it's biased. So you can't really refute that.
So what we need is Sean to explain
Whose
what
bias
a
is it?
lunar eclipse is in the first place. I don't even know.
Oh my god.
I'll repeat it one more time. Chemo, if you don't understand what a lunar eclipse is, you are not smart enough to have a conversation with me.
Well, if you don't know what a lunar
you smarter
eclipse
than a
is,
fifth
then
grader,
you're
Chemo?
not smart enough to have this conversation either.
That's very sad, Chemo. You don't know what a lunar eclipse is? What the
Neither
hell's wrong
does
with
he.
you? Well, I think he does.
So what is it then? Ah, he has no idea.
Well, ask me and I'll fucking tell you. And then you're still in trouble.
No, we need to know if Sean is a real globe earther.
This is one last time, Chemo. If you don't understand what a lunar eclipse is and you need me to explain it, you are not smart enough to have a conversation with me.
The question is, do you know what a lunar eclipse
There's nothing we can say. It's a total eclipse of the heart.
Actually, I got one coming up on the 26th. And it's going to be dope if the skies are clear for me.
Can I just say that once upon a time I was falling in love, but now I'm just falling apart?
Exactly. That was sing talk. I'll allow it.
Look, we have... Well, I'm not explaining it until you tell me what it is first. I've got the explanation ready.
Until you explain it to me, I'm not going to explain it to you.
No, what does he mean when he says
Chemo.
lunar eclipse?
Chemo.
Well,
Come
lunar
on.
means
You can do
moon,
better
and
than that, Chemo.
No, don't help him. Let him explain what it is.
No one's helping anyone. We're all aware of what a lunar eclipse is, Chemo.
Other than Sean.
Yeah, that's why when he said,
this is like talking
how
about
does it
ranting.
work on a flat Earth? Because he knows
This is
how
why,
it works on a globe.
Sean, this is the reason why Sean has never had the top flat earthers debating him when he had his debate channel.
Top flat earthers.
For these very simple things. When you ask him a simple
Oxymoron.
question, he fails to be able to talk about the model. Now, what we'll see the same thing with Ranty as we see here with Sean, desperate for a discussion on something that they have no idea what they're talking about. Now, Sean is still here trying to find flat earthers to debate, and he's not been successful at all.
You've gotta get the top flat earther minds involved.
Let's
in
try
this.
again, Sean. What is a lunar eclipse?
The elite, unqualified.
Kimo, you don't know what the phenomenon that is called
all day long.
Wow, I mean, again, we've seen you with a channel,
Kimo.
and you're no longer debating the top flat earthers. What happened?
Kimo,
They ran away.
Exactly. So what you'll find...
What the hell? I'm talking. Kimo, you don't know what the phenomenon that is called lunar eclipse is.
Look, does Sean know?
No. It's a question, Kimo. Don't look me.
Maybe I do, maybe I don't. But what does Sean mean?
Well,
lunar
if you
eclipse?
don't know what this phenomena that we're talking about, then it's no point talk with you about it, right?
You know, when my kid does his homework.
You first want someone to explain to you something you don't know about.
Yeah, what is he talking
When
about?
my kid does his homework, or if I go and ask my kid, have you done your homework? And he says, maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I'll tell you what, he definitely fucking didn't.
Well,
and when you say, maybe I do or maybe I don't understand something, it means you definitely fucking don't.
The question is, why do you want to know? Who wants to know?
You don't ask him to understand, just to know what it is. Do you know what it is, Kimo?
A lunar eclipse. What does Sean mean by lunar eclipse?
What everyone means by lunar.
See, again, you're talking for Ranty, talking for Sean. These are not real globe earthers who can talk like a real globe earther.
Look, there is a consensus around the world about what lunar eclipse
See, Sean
means.
didn't talk like that.
What is the phenomena?
He's
Everyone
not talking
knows.
how you're talking. You guys are ready to explain what a lunar eclipse is, but Sean, the ex-flat earther pretend glober, cannot explain what a lunar eclipse is.
No, it's you that's supposed to explain.
So
When you
now,
ask,
again,
explain lunar eclipse on flat Earth. That's you that's supposed to explain it. We know what this phenomena is, don't you?
but what about an ex-flat earther? Do they know?
This is what happens, Chemo. When I
He
deal with
just
my
Googled it.
child,
Finally,
and I
go
tell
on.
him to do something, and he doesn't do it, and I have to repeat myself 3 or 4 times, it gets to the point where I stop repeating myself, and I need to make him understand I'm serious. With you, I'm not interested in treating you like a child because you're lower than a child. You've been explained the lunar eclipse so many times, you could probably recite it backwards, but you can't because it still will go against everything you say. I refuse to play your game, is what we're doing right now. You know what a lunar eclipse is, so I'm not going to explain it to you for the 1,000th time.
So let's leave it there then and move forward. But as I'm saying,
I'll explain it. Can you relinquish the right for me to explain it, Sean?
Well,
because he still has to explain what causes the shadow, and that's always
yeah, but
fun
if
to
you
watch them
tell
explain.
him, then he's just going to agree with what you
Exactly.
say, and he doesn't really know anything.
Well, it doesn't really matter because now you're answering the question to the room. So Sean is part of the room, and now you've still got to answer the question. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Kima, are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Lunar eclipse is when the Earth gets in the way of the sun's path that's shining on the moon, and the umbra and penumbra, smaller and large shadow of the Earth, is cast onto the face of the moon. Now, in your idea of the flat Earth, the Earth is flat. So what spherical object, or what creates that 2D silhouette, which is normally created by a spherical object and a light source, what is that in your idea if the Earth is not the thing that crosses the path of the sun and the sun's light?
Yeah, I mean, we've got what we've got is you know that we're under a dome, and a possible explanation.
Positive claim there. Positive claim there for a dome. So you've got to show that next.
Yeah, this explanation explains how a solar and lunar eclipse over a flat Earth is demonstrated. Now, remember, if we can conduct an experiment that agrees with hypothesis, then obviously that's what we go with. So we're able to model such observations, and it's just a possible answer on a flat Earth, how it may or may not work.
Please focus. Please focus. The answer I want is verbal, not visual. So please tell me. And the room.
It's just the dome. Yeah, it's the dome.
The mechanism.
The dome.
The dome.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to cut it, I'm afraid. And if that was a glober answering you, that you wouldn't accept that answer either. So why should we?
Like when you say gravity or refraction.
Gravity and refraction are two different things.
Exactly.
Although
refraction.
Although gravity creates the atmospheric pressure, which causes the density in the medium of the atmosphere, which assists or, certainly causes refraction. So yeah, good point. Gravity and refraction, hand in hand. Yeah. But anyway, stop deflecting.
What causes the lunar eclipse a dome? Just answered it.
Yeah. Okay. The dome. What keeps the sun and the moon up there?
I don't know.
In the sky. You don't know.
Not sure.
You don't know.
I don't.
But you know.
No, I don't know.
You know how it happens because of the dome, but you don't know what keeps the sun and the moon up there.
They're filled with helium.
Interesting.
So you don't
know.
I'm a flat earther's flat earther.
You don't even know then.
Yeah, I'm just a flat earther's flat earther.
So you think it's the dome that causes the lunar eclipse?
No. We can demonstrate. I just posted the demonstration for.
Kimo, who is this retard that did this video? Lunar eclipse happens during the night, not during the day. We see the moon, then we don't see it or don't see part of it, then we see it again. This show the retard rotating a dome. That's all. And there's no night on his.
We've got more. We've got
what
more.
The hell is...
Here's more. Here's another explanation on how eclipses. I mean, we've got all the explanations you need.
Except for what keeps the sun and the moon in the sky. You don't know that.
What keeps
and
the
we need
Earth
that
from falling through space the other way?
Because it's being pulled around the sun, and we're going around a spiral arm of the galaxy.
So you're just going to invoke magic, pulling forces. When have you ever seen a pulling force?
When there's gravity.
Exactly. So don't invoke magic to support your nonsense model when we fired rockets
Magnetism
at the
is a
dome.
pulling force.
We've already fired rockets at the
Magnetism.
dome. We fired a rocket 250 miles high, and we couldn't breach the dome at that height. So that's how high the ISS is. It can't go any higher.
You're saying they should have just tested the bombs on Earth. That would have been safer. Is that what you're saying?
We have tested the bombs on Earth.
3.8 megatons and all that rest of it.
We've
We should
tested
have
them
just bombed the ground, and that would have had no effect, right?
We've tested them underwater. Now, the idea was in the sky was to break the dome, to get through the dome. But they failed.
No, it wasn't.
Why would they have tested it at 70,000 feet? They knew that the dome was higher than 70,000 feet, so why would they have tested it at 70?
250 miles was the highest nuclear bomb we've tested.
Yeah, what about the lowest one? Why would they were testing to see if they could break the dome? Away from
Because if they thought that they could crack the... Oh my god. Terrible in the military, Moya. Oh yeah, lads, just send a bomb straight up to the dome. If it cracks, then all the water comes through. We don't know what's on the other side, but let's just go for it. So you'd start with a lower height
Assume
and
the
hope
dome,
the effect...
Timo. You have no evidence for
You
it.
start with the lower height, and
Magnetism.
hopefully the after thing hits the dome, causes a little crack, and then you work... Goodness me, Moyak, you've got no military brain whatsoever.
No, that's horseshit, Kimo. But magnetism
Just
is a
send our
pulling
biggest
force.
bomb
so
straight up to the dome, and if it cracks, it cracks. We don't have any plasters to patch it up in case things come through it.
Is this the square dome that Jeremy talked about?
Can you believe Moyak in the military? Right, lads, just send everything we've got straight to the top.
Well, you see, what I would do, Chemo, is I would send a rocket up.
Oh, now he's thinking like a military.
I would send Chemo. I would send the rocket up to have it bounce off the dome so I could find out the exact distance. I would also then start hitting it with multiple, slowly increasing their size and power to see if it cracks it. I wouldn't detonate something more farther away that couldn't have caused any effect at 70,000 feet. Because we know between 70 and 100,000 that we know that with balloons and stuff that we got up to 170,000, we know that bomb down below is not going to do absolutely anything. It's not going to make it crack. It's not going to make it wiggle, jiggle, bump, bounce.
But would you test weaponry that high, Moya?
I don't think. I mean, from a logical standpoint, yeah, I'd like to know what it does. I would send it up there to see whether it caused blackouts, whether it changed the ionosphere and shit like that. Might be a little bit foolhardy, but I can see that.
No,
See if
get
it
the
cracks
biggest
dome. I
bomb we've
that's a worthy
find,
endeavor.
and just
I would
send
start
that baby
It's much
straight
better.
up.
Yeah, but it's much better than letting the bomb go off right on Earth, isn't it?
Oh, well, it turned out it wasn't such a good idea.
No. Weaponry often destroys things, always.
They were willing to risk all of your lives. What's through the dome? I had no idea.
It's an improper test. What I do for the dome is I just go to Antarctica, get a drill
What
bit.
if they did break the dome and things
I would
started to
go
fall
to
through?
Antarctica, get a
Then
drill
what?
bit, and drill into the wall.
That's why God doesn't allow man to be so stupid, because they could affect everybody else, their own knowledge and benefit. Some of the military guys wants to know what's on the other side of the dome, so they crack a dome that's with water on the other side, and it all just kills everybody because they were curious.
Great. So why wouldn't you go to the Antarctica and get a Makita drill and see what the dome is made of, and decide what you want to do? You would just go randomly use miles and miles apart, 70,000 feet to 250 miles. And I think the furthest one was like 3,000 miles. If I'm not mistaken, Operation Fishbowl or one of its subsequents was like 3,000 miles. Checking that. It's mixing up kilometers and miles. I think it was, we got 400 kilometers. I think there's a 600. Nope, 600, 1,100 kilometers.
All right, stop your little socializing chitty
Shut
chat.
up, Jeremy.
I got a new argument. You guys ready for this?
Wait. Before you do that, Jeremy, please show me a square dome, and then you can have your new argument. You left before I could ask you the question.
Where you build 4 walls up.
Mm-hmm.
Go get a sheet of paper.
I can do it right now in 3D. Show me how to do
Go
it.
get a sheet of paper.
Mm-hmm.
And a piece of plastic.
Right.
Staple the fucking plastic all around the edge of the paper. You can glue it, whatever you want, and then lift the middle of the fucking plastic up. Are you guys high today?
So that's like an elongated dome, though. It's not like a dome.
Okay. Or now you're saying we made a claim, shape claim of the shape of the dome now? Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So what's inside your ball Earth? Can you show us?
What lengths of silliness are you willing to take this?
Exactly.
Hot magma.
No, you're hot micing right now, I think.
Definition of a question.
What is this test, Jeremy? I'm not following what you're doing here.
What's up? He wants to see a dome over a square surface.
And what does the sheet of paper have to do with these?
I don't know. Does the dome have a specific shape? Maybe I could be wrong. Can a dome be different shaped? Or, I mean, we got a super dome on football, football fields and shit. That's not exactly a circle.
Curved.
What's up?
Domes are curved.
Yeah. That would be the only specific shape you would give to it. You couldn't have a flat dome?
No.
All right.
That wouldn't be a dome then. It would be a roof. It would be a top, a lid, whatever. But it wouldn't be a dome.
Yeah, right. And when it gets to the part where it folds around the corners,
if you do that thing I said with the plastic,
no longer a dome.
If you do that thing I said with the plastic, you'll have a curved top.
Well, I asked you what you meant by that. What is it?
Yeah, I mean, just take anything square and put a sheet of glue a piece of plastic around the edge.
And what shape will it form when you just do that? Yeah.
Yeah, lift it up. Maybe support the sides a little bit. I don't know. You can format into whatever shape you want. You can make it flat.
Technically, I don't know what you would call that.
I don't think a dome has a specific. Don't we say football fields are covered in domes? They're not.
Yes, it's a curved surface. I would also say I'm not sure if this is part of the rule, but it curves away from the force of gravity. But I don't know if that's true.
What? That's ridiculous. Whatever you just said about it. Don't try to bring gravity into this and convoluting red herring thing.
Right.
The direction of
I
it.
posted the picture. Is this what you mean? That kind of dome?
It would be a bowl. Okay, that's it. The dome is the one that goes against gravity, and the bowl is the one that goes with gravity. We have words for these things.
Whatever you want, man. It's a dome, the thing I'm talking about.
Well, no, you're talking about a bowl.
Why is it a bowl? It ain't going to catch no water, man. It's going to fall. The water's going to fall right off it.
You just made a piece of paper, I'm thinking, between 4 poles, and it's curved in towards the inside. Concave.
You have a flat piece of paper. Listen, you have a flat piece of paper sitting on a table.
Uh-huh.
You staple the fucking paper down. You know what? Let's use a piece of solid wood. That way it doesn't bend at all.
Okay.
Piece of solid wood. Get some plastic, saran wrap, whatever the fuck you want.
Right.
Garbage bag.
Sure.
Glue the garbage bag all around the edge
of
the little square piece of wood or whatever you want, and then lift it up in the middle.
Oh, you're saying inflate it.
Whatever, yeah, inflate it, lift it up in the middle, make it dome shape, support it on the sides.
With your simpleton explanation, I was expecting you were putting it on 4 poles, and the natural force of gravity would pull down the center. So
you're in this predicament because you followed an Australian here. You followed the Australian here. That's why you're in this predicament you're in now. We're just in a nonsense dead end street.
I know you're not that stupid, Jeremy.
Anyways,
I know you're calling me Australian just on purpose.
Yeah, that would form a dome.
Same thing.
That would form a dome, yes.
Yes, I know. Do you see now, Davros, how you can get a dome with a square?
Oh my god.
I like it, Jeremy.
Listen.
I don't sound like those people.
It's just a silly argument that he came out, and he bombarded with me like he had me. He's like, I got you.
But this dome has corners.
Yeah, there's too many seams on your dome, Jeremy. You see?
What?
There's too many seams, edges,
You're
ridges.
losing a lot of strength of your dome by doing that. Because,
That's fine, man. You don't know what kind of structure, what's going on
How
in here.
thick
You have
the
no
dome
idea.
is. That
There's
is
a
the
difference
dome.
between a dome and a tent, you know.
It could be made out of some super strong Thor's hammer
Could
material.
be.
I don't fucking
Could
know.
be.
Yeah, light as a feather too, right?
Listen, do you
Like
want to hear my
aerogel.
argument, my new argument that I have? Or you want to keep arguing about if a dome can be on a
Just
square object?
concede it's not a dome if it's got
I'm not conceding it's a dome, dude. I can make a dome on a square object. This is a no-brainer. Moyak just agreed with me.
Do it, Jeremy.
I'm not
Next time,
fucking
show
doing
us.
it, man. If you guys want to do it,
You
you don't.
did good. Now you're not going to do it.
Oh my god, I'm gonna look for. What if I find a picture of one on there?
Jeremy,
Will
look
that
at the
do it for you
text
guys?
chat. It's been done already.
It's been done. All right, thank you. Jesus Christ, guys, come
And
on.
picture out.
We're still arguing about this. I have a new argument. No one's even interested. I just thought this
I'm
up in my
You
head.
said Is the square dome? No.
Ideas that I come up with when I
Is
was in the
it
shower
the
just
same
now,
level of stupid?
and I came
Jeremy?
up with an argument. And everyone's talking about, can we have a dome on a square fucking shape?
No, you brought it up and you left before
No,
I could
I
ask
came
you.
in
But
and
I
said, hey, I got a new
set
argument.
that as the premise to why I asked you about it, Jeremy.
Alright, so
Don't
now are we
act like
clear?
we're
You can-
spiraling. I stopped you from beginning. Okay? Now
clear?
that you've cleared up that you don't know, please carry on with your new idea
Don't
that
know
we can
what?
rip to
I do
pieces.
know you can. I do know you can have a dome on a square shape. What do you mean? You don't know.
Okay,
You're the one that's misunderstanding and confused right now, sheeple.
I asked. Oh, you got my name right. Awesome. I asked you about it.
Okay. So are you not confused anymore, or do you understand how you?
I
can have
asked you your take on it. That was my point.
All right.